callback function in JavaScript is a function that is passed as an argument to another function and is executed after the completion of the function. Callback functions are used extensively in JavaScript to handle asynchronous operations such as reading files, making API calls, or handling user interaction. Let's talk about how it's work. Pass a function as an argument to another function. The receiving function can execute the callback at the later time, often when an asynchronous operation has completed. Callbacks are used to handle events like button clicks. They are crucial for non-blocking operations like API call, API request, where you want to execute some code only after the request complete. A method like map, filter, and for each use callback to process array elements. So callback functions are foundational concept in JavaScript, uh, enabling powerful and flexible handling of asynchronous operations. Question number 2, hoisting. Hoisting is a JavaScript mechanism where variables and functions declaration are moved to the top of their containing scope before the code execution begins. However, only the declaration are hoisted, not the initializations. Let's talk about how it's work. The declaration of variable is hoisted to the top, but its initialization stay in place. This means that you can reference a variable before it declared, but its value will be undefined until the line of code where its initialized is executed. Entire function declarations are hoisted, which means you can call a function before its declaration in the code. Variables declared with let and const are also hoisted, but they are not initialized to undefined. Instead, they are in a temporal dead zone from the start of the block until the declaration is encountered. If you try to access them before the declaration, it will result in a reference error. So hoisting allow variable and function declaration to be moved to the top of their scope, but only the declaration are hoisted, not the assignment. Function declaration are fully hoisted, while let, const, and function expression are not initialized during hoisting, leading to potential errors if accessed before the declaration. Question number 3, scope. Scope in JavaScript refers to the context in which variables and functions are accessible or visible. It determines where variables and functions can be used in your code. Understanding scope is crucial for avoiding efficient and bug-free code. There are different types of scopes that are global scope, function scope, block scope, lexical scope. What is global scope? Global declare outside any function or block are in the global scope. They are accessible from anywhere in the code, both inside and outside of function or blocks. Function scope. Variable declared inside a function are only accessible within a function. This include variable declared with var, let, const. Block scope. Variables declared inside block using curly braces, using let or const are only accessible within the block. Block scope was introduced in ES6 with let and const. Lexical scope. Lexical scope means that a function scope determined by its physical location in the source code. Function in JavaScript from closure, meaning they retain access to their outer scope even when they are called outside that scope. Question number 4, spread operator. In JavaScript, spread operator is using for copying any iterable variable. Spread operator represented by their three dots. Suppose we have an array named A which have value A, B and C. Now we want to create another array where should have A, B, C, D, but we already have A, B and C in a variable. Now we can easily copy A, B, C by using spread operator. So now create a new variable and use three dots or spread operator and merge the D. Question number 5, event loop. The event loop is a functional concept in JavaScript that allows for non-blocking asynchronous operations. It plays a crucial role in managing the execution of code, handling events and processing asynchronous tasks like API calls, timers and input-output operations. JavaScript is a single-threaded, meaning it can only execute one operation at a time. However, it can handle asynchronous tasks without blocking the main thread. How the event loops work. The call stacks where your code is executed, functions are pushed onto the when called and popped off when they return. JavaScript execute functions from the call stack in last in first out order. Browser provide APIs like set timeout, DOM event, HTTP request, handle asynchronous task. When an asynchronous operation is triggered, it gets offloaded to these APIs, freeing the main thread to the continue executing code. Once asynchronous task is completed, the corresponding callback function is added to the task queue. The task queue holds the list of tasks waiting to be executed. Event loop continuously checking the call stack to see if it's empty. If the call stack is empty and there are pending tasks in the task queue, the event loop pushes the first task in the queue to the call stack for execution. This process ensures that asynchronous operations are handled only when the main thread is free. So we can say the event loop allows JavaScript to handle asynchronous tasks without blocking the main thread. It's constantly check the call stack and the task queue, ensuring that the main thread remain responsive by executing tasks in the appropriate order.